Hello, friends! Today we are playing What Remains of Edith Finch. I don't know much about this game other than it has been highly recommended by everybody, and that it's about 2 to 2.5 hours long. That's literally my full knowledge set of the game. I have no idea what to expect. But I will say this. I have been told, okay, so, never mind. You know how some days you wake up and you have more emotions than normal? Like you just wake up and it's in a day where you can tell you're going to be full of emotions? That's that day for me. And I've also been told that this game has emotions. So, I don't know what's going to happen. The reason we're on the homepage here as opposed to in the game is because I started the game and it immediately opened up into a cutscene. So now we're going to hop over to here and I'm going to start the game live on stream. Usually I open it up and, make sure that the stream is set up properly. All that little fancy stuff, all the little polish that you guys expect from me. You know. There we go. Cutscenes, yeah! Shoutouts to cutscenes. What Remains of Edith Finch. I have no idea what remains of them. I hope they're okay. They're probably not going to be okay, are they? Yep, this is as far as I got. Oh. Puget Sound. Where is that? That's a location. It's a beautiful location, actually. I really like it.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Okay.
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Okay. Interesting. So this game's gonna have a lot of audio prompts.
My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
Really interesting. And they went missing in '03 when we were 4 years old, which is clearly our character is at the very least a late teenager if they're going on a ferry by themselves. What can we see here? Focus Island, Washington. Okay. So what this game is doing is it's flagging triggers. It's hitting flags. And then it's giving us both pop-up dialogue. We have a zoom button. That's actually really nice. That's an interesting house. I like that house design. I don't know how practical it is, but I love the concept behind it. Which means that the focus of this game...
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Weren't allowed in... Well, that makes sense. Sometimes you don't want to have a kid going through stuff that's either strange or sensitive or historical in nature. The game does invisible wall me. Not that I was planning on throwing myself off a cliff or anything, but I was going to try and get on the other side of the cliff to look down. But so now I know that I can't do that.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Interesting. So we're going back to... I can't seem to crouch. I was going to crouch and see if I can't read a headline or such. The Orcas? Bad or something. Can't quite make it out. Orcas Island. I love the house that is a mirror of the actual home on the mailbox. I actually think that's adorable.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Oh, wait for this. No trespassing. Yep, see those. So what can we learn here? Oh yeah, my mods, please, if anybody spoils anything, I fully expect you to remove it before I see it.
My mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Oh, okay, so that's part of the intrigue of the game then, is it? Yes? We have a key that we're going to have to figure out what it goes to.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Well, it was. So, there's that. The Finches. So we have already have our first diverging path. We can either follow the main road or go down the narrow one. This is what I would do every single time. This is my kind of path. I love walking through deep, hilly terrain. Oh, everything about this game is making me feel, like, just happy. Well, okay, not happy, but, like, this is the kind of world I love. Like, this terrain, this deep in the woods with the hills and the mountains. It's hillier than... Oh, hello. Oh, it's extra missing posters that were never put up. Got it. That's interesting. Do I have a spooky game lineup for next month? I do. Actually. Now isn't the time to be talking about that. I think we should be...
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
Really? Mm-hmm.
But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Huh. Well, at least, very least, we need to learn about what's in those extra rooms. And we got our key, so... we can learn about our family. I think this is kind of well known. I've mentioned it a couple times. But I was adopted. I don't have a biological family. I was adopted at a very, very young age, before I was conscious. So
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent.
I think it's comfortable.
As if they're about to say something, but never do.
So even though I have grown up with a loving family, I never really felt the same ties. Like, I've never cared about who my birth parents were, but I can say that I don't necessarily have the same understanding of family and familial ties that I've seen in other people, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not. You know what, let me... Yeah, and the thing that's always bothered me about every story about adoption is this constant run.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Is this constant run through where it's always about trying to find your birthday. I know exactly 3 things about my birth parents. I know exactly 3 things and no more. 1, they could not raise me for whatever reason. 2, they loved me enough to put me up for adoption. 3, I don't need to know 3. That's it. They love me, and they put me up for adoption into a family that also loves me. So it's always been a pet peeve of mine whenever a game or a movie has an adopted kid.
I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband.
Oh?
I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me, even then.
Yeah! That's a weird joke. We also see more of these missing pages. It's always bugged me that that's like the kid has been adopted storyline, right? Like, that's just the storyline that every media that has someone who's been adopted has had. Okay, I see what this is now. That is a slide. That's a little playground. That was a playground with a slide and a running platform and... Okay, so that originally was a metal playground, but at some point it just got rusted and rotted, so it just was reclaimed by the land. Yeah, my parents picked me. That is it. That is genuinely... Game's a bit loud. Thank you very much. Yeah, my parents picked me. That is true. That is something that... I don't feel the need to think of it in that way, in the sense that, like,
As
that
a
makes me
child,
feel better.
the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
But it is a cool way of thinking about it. When somebody starts to get overly comforting, like, I've never been disparaged being adopted outside of, like, grade school. You know, in grade school, there was people who were like, haha, you were adopted, and that was a comeback that I could pick. But never since then. It's been more annoying when people are overly comforting about it. It's like, oh no, you were adopted. That's so tragic. Like, no, it's not tragic at all. I'm just me. I'm like, just have my own life, and it has been working well for me.
As a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Were you afraid of the snake too? Probably. Parents are parents, and and I am fortunate. I am nothing less than blessed to have been raised by two parents that loved me. That's how I see it. Yep. This all looks simultaneously very familiar and very,
I heard something moving around in the garage.
probably raccoons. Honestly, it's almost definitely raccoons. So I'm just taking in the mountain range. It's very pleasant. Oh, that retaining wall's... Oh, that retaining wall needs some work on it. That's not going to last a couple more seasons. Trust me, I know. Alright. Does not have... Okay, so it has a satellite dish. Oh, it's right, it's in America. I assume that's either satellite or a long Wi-Fi. This power line should have been maintained by the power company? That they shouldn't have had to maintain that? Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, we're crawling in here? We have the key. Oh, we have a
Crawling
key.
through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Oh, okay. We're doing that for the nostalgia. We're doing that for the nostalgic emotion of crawling through the doggy door. Also, the game is using it as a loading zone.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Yeah. And it has not been maintained either. Nice bike. An old car. Oh, wow. Even the tennis ball on a string. Jeez. This game is... This game is giving me emotions already. Like, the tennis ball on the string is giving me emotions. Okay, look, I'm gonna have a rough time today. Nice cooler. Interesting. So we can learn a lot already. And the tennis ball on the string tells us a lot. But we have 1, 2, 3 bikes, which means there were 3 people who lived here, right? Because each of them had a bike. There's something that I also see. I believe that's an extra... No, that's a storage tub. Okay, so that's an empty storage tub, or at least a storage tub whose items we can't tell. A stool / step ladder, depending on how it needs to be used at the moment. Kiddie pool. So there were kids. Well, there was at least a... Hold on, let's unpack this. Hold on. Let's unpack this here. There's a kiddie pool here. Our youngest sibling, I believe, as far as we know, disappeared when we were 4 years old. That means that there were no kids that would use this beyond us, and we're 17 now. But they kept the kiddie pool. I mean, my first thought is they kept it for like a dog or a pet or something to play in, because sure, that makes sense. But they also have a creek down there, and you know, that'd be better and more fun for them. So this is not necessarily hoarder behavior. I'm not gonna like go that hard into it, but like that is noteworthy. That is interesting. They kept the kiddie pool. You love the tennis ball. The tennis ball's
For the
sending me.
first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Oh wow. Oh wait, here we go. Eddie, Dawn, Lewis, Milton, Edith. Mental note those. Yeah, I did. I was going to bring that up. The calendar is 2010. And this game came out in 2017. I don't know when it takes place. If it takes place when it came out, then the calendar hasn't been moved or updated in the past 7 years. Nice canoe. Mine's aluminium, and I haven't touched it in ever. The only reason it's not rusted out is because it's made of aluminium. Yep. Add that microwave. Is this game, like, directly targeted at me? Oh my goodness. This is, like... Northwest Chef. Witch's Kitchen? Okay, these people are awesome. Viking's Belly? Okay, these people are awesome. Flour, saltwater, yeast. Okay, minimalist cookbook. Tasting Thailand. Okay, so a bunch of cookbooks, which makes sense, but they're cookbooks for cool people. They're not just like, 5,000 ways to make beans. No. It's actually, Witch's Kitchen, Viking's Belly. These are cookbooks for people who are cool people who live cool lives, Orange Tabby Zinfandel blend. Oh, okay.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Wow. Okay, no, this... Loving many of Lewis Finch. Okay. November 21st, 2010. And then within the next couple of months, they stopped updating anything. Here we go. Edith is us, right? We are Edith. Oh, Edie. Oh, it's Edie. It's not Eddie. It's Edie, and it's an old woman. Dawn was the mother, and Lewis was an older brother, and then the other one is the passed away one. So Edie is the grandma, Dawn is the mother, Lewis is an older brother, we're Edith, and Milton is the younger brother who went missing. That's what I'm tracking here. That's the same stack of books, understandable. Reusing assets is fine.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Salmon apple pie. Okay, hold up. 6 cup peeled tart apples, 2 tablespoons water, lemon juice, sugar, packed brown sugar. Okay, I like the different sugars in the blend. That's nice. It gives it a bit of that maple flavor. All flour, cinnamon, nutmeg. Okay, yeah, I like the nutmeg addition. It's a very classic recipe. Huh? Oh. Ginger. Oh, that sounds good. You know what? That sounds like a really good recipe.
Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house. So we had Chinese a lot.
Yeah, a lot of places don't deliver to me either. I'm just gonna file that under same. Cosmic cuisine. Pleasures of Japanese. Yeah, these are people who actually enjoy food. These are people who don't just eat to live. These are people who live to eat. And yeah, you can do a lot with salmon. I love salmon. The canned salmon that was
still a wreck from the night we left.
Mm-hmm. Canned salmon is not nearly as good. But...
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Those chairs, that kind of wheelchair. I'm just going to say this for everybody watching and everybody who's seeing this. Those kind of wheelchairs are not good for long-term use. Those kind of wheelchairs are made to transport somebody, not to have them sit in it all day. My grandmother slid out of a chair like that. Exactly, like this exact chair. And landed on the ground on her tailbone. This week. That happened this week to me. That happened this week to my grandmother, who is in her mid-90s. Because my parents had left her sitting in that chair for hours. Because that, like, it's a huge hassle to move her. She can't move on her own.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Oh, they have a... Wait, is that a... Oh, it's a grill. I was trying to see if they have a dock area. If they have a dock area, then the big question... then you, even if you inherit this house, you're going to have to pay a mint in back fees for water access. Look, this game is directly targeting me. I am...
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it. Like a smile with too many teeth.
I disagree. I mean, there's too much clutter on the floor. I don't like the books on the floor and on the table, but... And obviously this needs to be picked up, but, like, this room here... Apart from, like, the couple stacks of books there, this seems fine and beautiful. I love the aesthetic of the bookcases.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
And that's a picture of the original house, or a photograph, or maybe even a painting, can't quite tell. Can we go outside? At least not here, I don't think so. Yeah, they said let's make it for a lizard that will play it 5 years later. Yeah, it feels that way, doesn't it, actually? Walk in tempura. These are... So... Here's my question is, are these... Is it like a nervous tick where they rebuy... I don't have a jump button. Where they rebuy the same books? Is that a narrative choice? Or is it... Wait, hello. The King in Yellow. Necronomicon. Labyrinths. Okay. The Aleph, that's an alchemy book. Homeschooling book. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, there's enough information here that we can start piecing this together. The person who lives here, Swedish folktales, loves occult, loves, like, just, you know, the idea of witchcraft and, you know, Necronomicon and that sort of idea. The Witch's Cooking Book is another hint towards that. They also love making good food. They also appear to have a little bit of a tick where they rebuy books, where they might buy a book and they'll buy another copy. That's why we have such big stacks. It could be the other way around. It could be that they're reusing book covers for filler, but it kind of doesn't feel that way, if I'm being honest, you know? They did have an actual flat screen TV, which is... There's the... That basket of yarn. Yep, that exact basket. Jeez. That, oh my... That lamp. Time and gods. Okay. I'm not going downstairs yet. What's in here? Oh.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara.
Aww.
Along with the rest of the house.
Aww. That's them. Violins on the wall. That's interesting. This brings us back into here. We're going to just check out the hallway here. Okay, just crashes along the... Yep. The same one as before. Oh, we're near a train track, sounds like. November 2010. Here we are, and... Yep. Milton didn't get any mail, or didn't have any mail left here is how I should phrase it. Or they came and took it, more likely. That's more what it is. They came and took the mail. Hurricane Land. Oh, that's not Hurricane Land, but it's, yeah. Get the name of it.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Understandable. We don't know why we left, though, right? At least not yet. Do we want to go? I think we're gonna save downstairs for later. Downstairs is. So this is sealed. I'm going outside again. Wait, I can't because the game didn't let me. I want to go outside and see what's on the other side of this because I need to get my bearings. You know what I mean? Hold on. Can I get anywhere where I can see the outside so I can parse something out yet? No, I cannot get my bearings yet. Okay. That sealed door makes me think things.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
Oh, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Well, let's take another look at this. Why would she... Wait, what? Oh.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Which library? You have two so far. Interesting. But that's a library, not a bedroom. They said that they've sealed up the bedrooms. This is another library that's been sealed. Strange choice. No, I do not play Splatoon, but I did pick
then
the,
Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
That's a really strange choice. Oh, here we can see... Okay, they did have lake access. They did have ocean access. This lake or ocean? I don't know. I guess we can't tell where this is. Probably ocean access. So they did have water access, though. That's... Man, we inherited this house. We're gonna have to pay a whole bunch of back taxes on that. That's for sure. This was our room.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Oh, Edith Sr. then. That looks beautiful. I hope we get to go in there. I want to see the details there. There's Sven's. And the Finches. Okay, let's take a look at these. The Book of Wonder. Presumably, yeah, okay. Unsolved mystery sort of things. Time and the Gods. Okay. A Curse and the Wise Woman. Oh, Swan's Way. I actually, that's an actual book, I'm pretty sure. That's, Celtic, I want to say, in nature. Infinite Jest. Don't know that. Homeschooling Book of Answers. Yeah, there's a lot of homeschooling books in here, which is interesting. The Wolves and the Carpenter. The King in Yellow, I believe, is a Lovecraftian book. Then we have the Necronomicon, like you do. Book of Sand. Swedish Folktales. Right. East of the Sun and West of the Moon. Are these... How many of these are real books? I can name like 3 of these that are real books. Seeing Critically. Homeschooling Essentials. Solitude and the Sublime. Sounds beautiful. The King, is a real book? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Gregory's room?
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. That looks like a... That can't be Gregory's room. That's bathroom. Oh, it's one of those rooms where you have to go through the bathroom to get into the room proper? I hate those. Calvin.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Oh. And we already can tell from, like I said downstairs, that this family is going to have trouble letting go. So his family wanted to keep Calvin's room the way it was when he passed, and he had to live alongside the memory of his brother. That's... Ooh, that's scarring. Oh, that's... Ooh, I don't like that.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
We can have an attic. We'll check that in a second. Let's look in here first. Oh, hello.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Odin? Allfather Odin? Interesting name choice. Is that... I don't know if that's being done for narrative purposes or not, but... Oh, that's cool! Little wine cabinet inside of the bookcase. I love this house. I want to move into this house.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Fair. That can happen. Never actually been to Hollywood properly. Like, location, I mean.
Mom must have locked the 3rd floor stairs on the night we left.
Hmm. Don't move to this. Look. Maybe I will. We'll go there in a second. Because obviously the game's telling me to go in there, but, like... I want to go into the place that I'm supposed to go last. Molly.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
So, the culture of this house, of this family, is that every time somebody dies, they keep they keep their room exactly how it was, as a museum, as a tribute to them. Which is... And then we saw from the outside that there are several additions to the house. They added new rooms every time a family member was born. It looks like. And kept the old rooms sealed as tribute. I understand where they're coming from, but I don't like that. That's something that still sits...
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
It reeks to me of being unable to move on, right? It's... Somebody
I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
It reeks of somebody who can't move on from the past. And that's tragic. That's a tragedy. That is a sad thing.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Yeah, that's a master lock key, isn't it? Now that I reckon, yeah.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Oh, wow.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Afraid of? Why would she be... Okay. Well, Walter probably knew about this. So there's a step stool there, which means that there's a path for a kid to get in here. So this is just a little hidey hole, yeah? Yep. We can even see kids' toys in here.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
Pram. You didn't have a plan, but you had a pram. Haha, jokes. What is this? Oh, I like that. You can actually tell that we're crawling. I like that little body immersion style.
But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Oh, okay, so now we can actually get into one of the sealed rooms properly.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
I don't know where this is gonna lead either, but I'm here for it 1000%.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own, even tinier gerbil cage.
Pete cute. Sad that I missed out on a dialogue.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Yeah, makes sense. Wait, what is that? Oh, Mount Rainier. Okay.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here. Before my mom sealed the doors.
Yeah. Crayons. Oh, they were dissecting a starfish and actually had a butterfly under a microscope. Okay, so this person wasn't just a kid who was fiddling around. They were a kid who had actual genuine hobbies. They actually cared about some sciences and some biology, which is pretty cool. And there's another static calendar. That's when this person died, right? Yeah, that is. There is part of the pier still out. There's a dock out there. Oh, okay, that's a dock. That's a dock to swim to. Okay. Which also means that this is the ocean rather than the lake, than a lake. That's what I was saying before, as I couldn't quite tell. If that dock is still in good condition, then that's because saltwater. Because wood that's in saltwater does not rot. Okay, there's your science fact for the day. You'll get more, I'm sure.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen.
What's going to happen?
It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Okay, so now we are Molly. And this is taking place in Molly's mind. So we're being transported into the past through the diary.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Aww.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Oh, wow. We were actually starving.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Aww. No, Christopher. Okay, I was hoping we make some more information about... Hold up. Nope. Oh, wait. Yes. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say the dock is still ruined back then, but we can't actually see it. Looks like the dock is masked. Well, let's go down to the kitchen. No, we'll investigate here first. Some water will help us.
I kept eating and eating.
Wait. Oh. Oh, never mind. We have pica. Oh, I get it now. This is a kid with pica.
I ate a lot of things that night.
If you don't know, pica is an eating disorder where you feel hungry for things that are not food. Eating, like, I'm assuming those are not actual berries, right? Those are plastic. And the gerbil food is,
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
We should head down to the kitchen before we eat that bird, huh?
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Back
And
out,
suddenly,
Oh!
I was a cat.
Are we dreaming then? Okay, well, I guess we're not going down to the,
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Wait, let's actually hold on and parse the outside of here. Okay, the dock is in shambles, which is interesting. There is a monument out there that I feel like that's important. A red light, so that's a buoy of some form. It's actually a really, really nice area. Oh, we have a bell. My cat has a bell. Got him. No, I didn't get him.
Mom
Back up
and
here.
Dad didn't even look at me.
Interesting. So we are going to see other people. I thought that may have been abstracted this entire time. So is this a... Wait, hold up. Back up, back up, back up, back up. No, up here. Where is this? Okay, that's one of the other rooms. Then what is that? That's the garage. The garage... Oh, this is them building the garage. Okay. That's the garage being built. And a birdhouse. Ah, almost got him.
I jumped and I almost got her.
So close. Oh, this is interesting. Well, we want that bird, because we are a cat.
I could tell she was getting really tired.
Hmm.
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised
So-
Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
So that's a treehouse little area. It's cute. I like it. I always wanted a treehouse, but I never had one. Oh, so this is a phenomenal climbing tree. I would climb this in a heartbeat. I can't
I got
crouch.
with her up.
Yay! Good ending.
Suddenly, I was an owl.
Oh, nice!
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Don't see anything yet.
Rabbits.
Oh, I hear it. There's a rabbit. This one we get. Ah. Get him. Got him. Nice.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Interesting. I mean, a rabbit is a full meal for an owl. What's gonna be bigger?
A mama rabbit.
Oh, a bigger rabbit. Get him.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
Hmm.
And suddenly, I was a shark.
Okay. Slightly troubling. Oh, no. We need to get in the ocean. So this is the kid's dream. I still wonder if the kid has pica.
I rolled off a cliff
Ooh.
and into the ocean.
That last bit hurt.
Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Sharks are scavengers. Sharks are willing to eat. How do I look down? There we go. Oh, I see why. In this kind of situation, I need to have... So, W is pivot up, and S is...
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Dang it, I didn't get him. I need this to be in different control scheme. I bumped it. There we go.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Well, now we hunt and chase. Now we follow.
I grabbed on for water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Oh, interesting. Now we're a squid of some form?
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Okay, okay. Well, we're gonna have to keep on eating, clearly. Now, this is a kid's dream, right? This is a kid's dream. There's nothing to actually be worried about, folks. We're dreaming. There we go. Can we fit under here? Are we small enough? Oh, we are. So if we're a monster in this kid's mind.
But I moved real quiet.
Did I though? Got him. Yo.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Oh. Where are you? There you are. Do I eat this guy? Can't eat that guy. Weird. Why can't I eat that guy? I don't know. Oh, we're gonna go for the helmsman?
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Okay, what are we now? Is it krill? Are we a whale and we getting krill? Oh no, we're still a monster.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
You candy him? Oh, why didn't I? Tried. That's not how toilets work, by the way.
I got closer and closer.
Well, I guess we're going underneath the bed, it looks like.
All my stomach started growling.
Ooh, how many stomachs do we have? I wonder.
And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Huh. Okay. Kid has a bad dream. We're writing it off as that. Kid has a bad dream.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Wait, oh, I'm stuck here. I don't love that it forces me out. I'm guessing I can't go that way, right? No. I don't love that it blocks me from backtracking and just taking in more of the area. Now I can look up and see this area
This will
up
be
there.
obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Environmental shaders, got it. So, it's a really nice. It's so nice. Wow. Okay. There is satellite here. I believe this is the second satellite we've seen. This is Edie's room,
I
then?
spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
Yeah. The Finch motifs. Oh! Oh, no! They kept all of the pets' cages as well. Everything that dies here, if it was considered a part of the family, was kept. And because... That was a pet snake. Cool. And because all of the... Oh, no. All the
Edie knit
animals...
me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Aw, cute. Mole men beneath the Finch house. Now, how long do finches live? Don't finches live to be like... I don't know. A lot of birds can live to like 60 years or something.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
I want to go to Druid World. That sounds hype.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Nice. That actually is pretty awesome. Built 1937, Sven Finch.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Ah. Yeah, that's why the dragon slide was abandoned, because it collapsed and nobody had the heart to change anything. Because this family can't change things. They can't change things. They refuse to change things.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Mm-hmm. I have that exact pill case.
The room was like a museum.
Oh, jeez.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
He set sail with his house and he was hoping to leave something behind? I don't believe that for a moment.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
And they built it exactly the way the old one was built.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Oh, and he wrote that. Obviously, we can't go that way. And these are different books, which reinforces the idea that this family rebuys books and that the extra books they had isn't a reuse of textures, but really is a narrative choice. He assumed the land was cursed, not the house itself? I don't know. This family, we know, wants to keep
Even in
hold
her
of
90s.
things.
Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
I don't know. Even, what we know about this family is that they cannot let go, right? They want to take everything with them and they want to leave everything the way it was. So why is this
The only
listed as somebody
trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Ah, that's okay. So
It
this
was a pretty big trace.
So this is that's why they left it this here. This is her mark on the house. Even though it's not her bedroom, it is her mark on the house. I like it actually. Kind of cool. Lots of pictures of Mount Rainier. There's a secret in this bathroom.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Okay. Oh, and it's dark. Don't walk in, don't walk in. I want to look more. Oh, no, 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 no. Back, 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 back. I'm holding. Okay. I still wanted to look at the
Sam an
bathroom.
old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Oh, wait, let me. Okay, good, 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 good. Thank you. This is the first time the game's actually let me backtrack. Not that there was anything too big, but... Okay, baby bubble bonanza. Reasonable. Yeah, this checks out. This is just an elderly person's shower with the handles so they don't fall, and the seats so they can wash without fear of falling. Makes sense to me. And then the bubble bath relaxation. That's all. I just wanted to see that before I moved down. Not seeing anything too noteworthy here. It's just a crawl space that was refurbished into a dark room, which makes sense, right? That's a perfect dark room area. Man, just pictures of local stuff. People are sad. I mean... No spoilers. Okay. I stand up. There we go. So just a huge photography buff and a hunter. And a military man. Okay.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
Wow. And he was forced to live literally in his twin's shadow after death.
And that he never talked about him.
Oh. Look at that. Sam and Kelvin, age 8, and then they just left it and only marked Sam's and left Kelvin's null. Oh, jeez. Okay. To command center. And this roped it off and forced him to live literally in the memory of what he lost. Because if they were the same age, yeah, they were the same age. Oh, jeez. That's you don't make it through that without trauma, right? Like that's.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
That's a horrible way to live. Just forced to live with death surrounding you at all times. Wait, hold up. The camera, the negative. Yep, the old breed. Sure. I read a lot of Hardy Boys books growing up. I have a ton of them. One of my parents, my dad said that he would never deny me a book, even when money was not great, even when money wasn't in the best place. He said that if I was going to pick up a book and read it, he would buy it for me. I didn't abuse this, except that growing up, I absolutely abused that by going to the bookstore and picking out new books and reading them and then looking at new ones. And honestly, I understand why he did it, and I think it was a really good way of raising a child is like teaching the value of reading and the enjoying of narrative structure in books. It made me who I am today. But I've read a lot of books. As an adult, it's harder for me to read, to be blunt. I mean, not harder for me to read, but harder for me to spend the time reading. So I focus more on books on tape now, but I still am avidly reading the books.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready!
Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Yeah.
I told him going around was impossible.
You can't go around.
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
We already have a broken
I
leg.
think he'd already made up his mind.
Means this probably isn't the first time we've done this.
That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm. Same. I've never broken a bone. I've had a bone stolen from me, but I've never broken one.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
But I should have, several times. Because, yeah. I would have
Mom
been
said
that
Grandpa
would have been
Sam
me.
enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
I would have done the same. I would have made that jump. I could see the exact jump and how he wanted to make it. If there was sand beneath it, if there was sand on the other side of that, on the other side of that wall, if there was sand after that on the other side of that drop off, or just water, I have done it. I would have done it the same. I've done it every time. Okay, so those are fake books. Okay. They do sell fake books to fill bookshelves. I've always thought they were silly because they're for people who want to show that they have a lot of books but don't actually read a lot. I could fill
The
bookshelves without
passages
them.
were a pretty tight fit.
Oh,
They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
yeah, yeah. But I love that they're there. Oh, we're inside the liquor cabinet. Well, we're too young to drink, and we wouldn't be able to get out there anyways. No, back out. Not yet. Wait, is this actually... What do I do here? We can open that up so we can get out there later. I don't want to get out there now. Ah, Barbara's room.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Child stars grow up. They don't always take their fame with them. That's some solid renown, actually. Wow. It's an actual figure? They got to keep a real? Lunchbox, love it. These
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Yeah.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack. 85. Hold on.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Or that she turned to a...
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Oh,
Her
that's a
biggest
terrifying
fan
phrase.
And current boyfriend,
Oh,
Rick,
don't...
was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father.
I can't get to the options menu, by the way.
He'd slipped
Oh, I can. You're saying to mute the music? Copyrighted music? Fair. Thank you for the warning.
into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency
Oh,
room.
no.
So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter.
Oh,
Her
no.
convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents
Oh.
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key
Aw.
in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
They made a comic of this and published it to everybody. Wow.
She reached for the music box.
Oh, they're gonna make me do this.
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
They're gonna make me
Rick?
play in panel?
Are you okay?
That's... okay.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Let me know when I can put music back on, by the way. I actually have combat mechanics. I don't like that. This bloody handprint? Why is there blood there?
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
That can't be a thing. That isn't. That's a dumb story. That part has to be of the story is likely made up. Why?
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Okay.
Oh dear!
Oh, that was his motivation. That was entirely a bit.
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not
Dump
scared,
him.
Rick.
That's terrible.
I'm furious.
Yeah, same.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
Get rid of
She
the
threw
dump
him
his.
out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
and she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the Late Late Picture Show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Okay, look, I'm gonna say this because this is relevant. I like how the house used to look. I'm gonna say this because this is relevant to us as well, to like literally you guys and me. Acting is not. You do not act like you act in real life. Your emotions are heightened, and you are more playing towards an audience. If you've seen me on community nights, you know this is true for me too. Like, you know, I don't always express myself the same way that I do when I'm live. It's pretty close because I'm a very genuine streamer. This is me. You are watching me, and I'm here. But at the same time, yeah, people aren't always on camera, and actors are not always acting in a on-camera way. This is important because if you are dating a fan, which is a bad idea to begin with, I will straight out say that, you have to keep up not with their expectations of you as a person. No. You need to keep up with their expectations of you as an actor. They want to be dating your screen presence, not you as a person. Bad plan. And you could see it in his voice. You could see it in what he was saying. Is over here then? No. Is upstairs? Ominous. Like, I'm very much still me, you know? But at the same time...
Walter, are you there?
Walter, you good?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara.
Stalker.
There's gotta be another way out of here.
I've had a stalker before.
Night, she played her part beautifully.
Can we sneak up on him and...
Alley's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Oh.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Let's go down the stairs and deal with him, finish him off. Let me know when I can turn audio music back on, by the way. He's gone.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Hello? Who is it?
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
It's his gang.
Oh dear.
What?
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time.
Ooh,
He took it
jeez.
all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Alright, let's parse this.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Am I good on music now? Okay. Oh. So it's safe to say that that has a lot of truth in it. And then there's some fabrications. Having her be beaten by a bunch of monsters seems like a fabrication. Having it be a guy with a hook sounds like a fabrication. Having her be accosted by a stalker sounds real. Having her be dating somebody who was trying to date her character, not her, sounds real. And we can assume that the key thing is actually the hint of how to progress the game. But, there's a lot of stuff in there that makes me wow, cute. Whew. That they left food there for her. Wow. Let me know if I missed a vignette. I think someone said, I saw somebody earlier say that we missed a vignette, and if that's the case, if I can go back for it, let me know where it was.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Haven't? Okay, cool. This is fine. This is fine.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
No, oh, wow. Did you see the line blur on that dialogue? It was nervous. Not blur, burn. Line burn is a tool that an artist can use to affect, and that animators can use. You can look up how it's used, but that was a very effective use of it. Okay, this is fine. Everybody passes away somehow. And we're just seeing all the ways that this family has passed away. Some before their time, some on their time. Are those no. Alright, to the right is an exercise area. To the left is a den. No? Okay. Yeah, that comic had things eerily correct. That had to have had insider information. Which makes sense, because of course they did.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
woodworker. Oh, it's just wind, okay. Decently skilled woodworker, too. Oh no, wait, so how old is Sven? Is this him? Okay, if the dragon was first, and he's drawing a carving of the dragon that killed his father, that's messed up. That's weird. That's super weird. If this came first, and then was abandoned, and the other guy completed the project as an actual, you know, playscape instead of just a toy, that's more okay. But if if that was crafted as a memorial to the serpent that killed, I don't know who. I don't know their ages relative to each other.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
That's just a crawl space. Pretty normal.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Aww.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Oh yeah? Well, I hear a generator. Do we have power in here? There's no shot we have power after dozens of years. Oh. Oh, we do.
I remember asking Mom
we-
once about where Walter had gone.
Got it. So opening the door triggered the generator. So the generator has a full tank of gasoline in it. And now that we've pulled the door open, we've enabled the generator, if you will. We've turned the generator on. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. This is fine. 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 This is fine.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
It's nice to see that they have a solid foundation on the house. Oh, it's a fallout shelter. Oh, that's right. This house was built in the 60s and 70s, right? Oh, this is a fallout shelter. Oh, this makes perfect sense. Okay, no, I get it now. This is fine. This is actually fine. This is a bomb shelter. A Cold War bomb shelter that they carved out. Man, that would have been really hard to carve out after the house was built. But certainly
If there's
possible.
a pattern in all these stories. I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Beans. Okay, so let's just do a quick potability check. Pea soup can, that'll last forever. Cereal, that stuff's definitely gone. That stuff is definitely gone. That cereal is useless. You can't eat that if it hasn't been eaten by rats already. Canned beans last forever. Propane, that is fine. That's gonna stay. Grape jam. Depending if in a bottle like that, peanut butter and the jelly. Probably the peanut butter's rancid for sure, but the jelly could potentially be okay. Depending on how well it's sealed. If it's actually sealed, if those are made of glass, that could... I wouldn't want to. It wouldn't be good, but it'd be okay. Tomato ketchup. Same as the jelly. Not likely to be good, but the vinegar and the ketchup will make it last a lot longer. The cereal's all gone off. Oh, I love this little bomb shelter, though. My house that I grew up in had a little bomb shelter area. What is that? Oh, those are seasonings. All the seasonings should be dry as heck. But if they are fully dried, peach halves, even canned, the peach halves might have gone off. Possibly. Depending on if they had preservatives. First aid kit, that first aid kit is actually... Much of that's probably not useful anymore either. Shaving cream? I actually don't know. I actually don't know the potability of shaving cream.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
What? What?
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
He had a Pacific earthquake, and he thought it was the big one. He thought it was the bomb. He thought it was the bomb.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster
Got a radio. No,
on the
no,
other
no.
side of the door starts to feel normal.
No, he's got a radio. He knows there's life outside. This is not. He does not think it's a apocalypse scenario. He does not think that the bomb's dropped. He knows that there's life outside. Yeah.
Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped.
2005. He was down here when our character was alive. We were alive, and he was still... And we can see the liver spots in the skin.
Whatever that thing was,
Oh no.
it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
I can't actually... Okay, it's actually not letting me walk the other way. And it's not letting me zoom. Oh, that's interesting. This character has worse eyesight, which means we can't zoom. We looked at... Either we did travel, or we collected postcards from places to imagine what it would be like to be there, which actually was common, especially back in the 60s and 70s. People would buy postcards. The camera bob. We're breathing heavily, and we can't zoom because we have bad eyes. People would buy postcards simply to have... Wait, that... Hold up. That's Christopher Ventura. Christopher Ventura was constructed in 19... Okay, that was constructed in 1931. Okay, I had to check the date of that. I thought it might be in the 60s. What is this? Oh, it's model train stuff. And... Yeah, soldering kit. It's all model train stuff. With some... Yeah, acrylic paints. He has the same... No, he has a completely different book collection. Surviving Death. Okay, he has some homemade weaponry. Fun. Okay. He's been down there for 30 years. Knowing that the outside world exists. Knowing that there are things outside. So this was dug out as a fallout shelter, and clearly he had this area as well.
I know it's out there, somewhere.
Pork chunks. Honestly, they're probably insanely heavily salted. There would basically be beef jerky in there. Pork jerky in there. That would probably be okay. Is that brown? That's brown rice. Brown rice, he better eat fast, because that is going... The brown rice might not go off very quickly itself, but you're inviting rats. Same with the cereal. You're inviting creatures that will take it.
Whatever killed Barbara. And Molly. And Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
That's where we were. try and walk backwards just to see what happens. I know obviously I'm supposed. Okay, invisible walls me there, or semi-visible walls me there. Oh yeah, it wasn't an earthquake. It was the train tracks. He just heard the train going through there every day.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know, I'm ready for it.
I'm not. I'm not ready
going to
for this.
appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left.
Again, we're alive.
Or a
Our
month.
character's alive here.
Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
He knew that was there. That was a choice. He knew the train schedule. There's no way he lived here for 30 years and didn't know the train schedule. He walked out there knowing
Walter
what was
died
gonna
when I
happen
was
to him.
6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
He knew a train was there. There's no possible way that he lived 30 years in that place without knowing the train schedule by heart. He knew that train was there. That was a choice.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Train was running late. He said the rattling stopped. Oh, he said the rattling stopped for a week. And again, everybody's in the shadow of Mount Rainier. And the change to his schedule is what ended up driving him mad then.
Maybe
isn't
she
it?
was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
He stopped caring. I think that's... Stop
But
caring.
if she never told me about an uncle under the house... I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
Oh, that's his midden peak.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
That right there is a midden heap. That right there is disgusting. And he lived... Oh, that's why he had it sealed. Okay, he had that sealed because that's where his midden heap was. Okay. That makes a little more sense. Still not great, though.
Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two,
Maybe two. That's...
I thought it was
okay.
time I heard the stories for myself
Mm-hmm.
and found out what happened to everyone else.
Hmm.
But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
This train makes no sense to me. This train makes no sense to me whatsoever. Why would a train be running through an island house? Why would you be running the train over the ocean? Because we've already decided this was saltwater ocean, right? Why was there a train there at all? Why? I don't... That makes very little sense to me. Where was the train going that they would choose to build it through here?
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
So we gotta write it for someone else to find.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Oh. Oh, okay. That's fairly modern style. I mean, not modern,
But I
modern,
thought you
but...
should know about your family.
Oh, who are we writing this to? That... Wait a minute. Hold the...
And the history you're a part of.
Okay. That is the top. That's the top. I do not know my First Nations history well enough to tell you what this totem pole signifies. I'm sure somebody out there has done a YouTube video on it, and let me know in the Discord, because I actually want to know. I don't know enough of my Native American, like, I don't know, I guess, yeah, because it's in Washington, I don't know enough of my First Nations history to tell you what this means. But totem poles have meanings. Like, they weren't just built for prettiness, they have some sort of spiritual meaning. Can we just walk into the ocean? No. Kind of feels like that's where we're headed, though, isn't it? Oh, that dock is exactly like the kind that was in a lake near my home growing up. This game is so targeted, and I...
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
We just sit back and spend the night outside? That's what I want to do. Maybe I should do that tonight. Maybe I should sleep outside tonight. Maybe this is a good night to sleep out under the stars. That weave.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
It was locked from the other side. We're a master lockpick. What's in here? Is that just some ground mist? Potting mix? What do you need this much potting mix for? You should be using topsoil for most of the stuff I can imagine that you would want it for. Another trash bin.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Mm-hmm. Does it have any fuel in it?
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
If people need to be buried, you can build the cemetery first. That actually is fine. I don't see a problem with that. You need a place to live, but as long as you have shelter, you can put the dead to rest first. You can choose to prioritize that, and they clearly have a fixation.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but
on the death.
The pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Christopher R. Shadow. Shotzi. I knew a dog named Shotzi. I knew a dog named Shotzi that was about that old. Who was born around that time. There's no shot. That can't be them. I refuse to accept that.
3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Zoe. Zerpy, Lurpy, Furpy, Chirpy, Burpy, Derpy, and Derpy Jr. That's about right.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Molly Finch, the cat. Calvin Finch, the astronaut, never got to see the stars. Oh well, you did get to fly. You got to fly. Sven Finch, the architect. Edie Finch, the writer, it seems. Walter Finch, the recluse. Barbara Finch, the star.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Oh, that's the old house. Oh, I get you. Need to... How do I clean up... Oh, I have to use this to focus. Let me just... Bearings first. Can't be the same dog.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
It's there as a memorial, because it has to be. Because this family requires it to be a memorial. This family must have it be a memorial forever. As is everyone's life must be a memorial. It's a part of wanting to be remembered, right? It's a part of wanting that to be a part of life forever.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Yeah, wait, I thought it was a buoy before that. Yeah.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Hmm. It's not a common dog's name. It's not a common name.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
That's okay. That's why it doesn't have a missing date. Usually I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that usually you flag the date of death as 2 weeks after the date of missing. I believe that's
There's so many
common
things
practice.
I wish I could ask my mom now.
Yeah,
Part of me
things I
thinks
could
this is what she wanted all along.
There's so
for me
many
to
things
come
I want to
back
ask my mom
someday.
too.
And find everything out for myself.
Okay.
But looking back on it now,
Tree house is beautiful. I love it.
if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Oh. Oh. We're 17. Reminder to everyone that we are 17 years old. There's the kayak. The canoe was supposed to be there too. I didn't think of that outside of just artist's interpretation of looking down. I did not notice that as... I did not parse that as a pregnant stomach, so much as I parsed it just as a stomach. No, I did not. I did not. I just didn't. I did look down, but...
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
So this story that we're writing is to our unborn child.
They were
That does
both pretty
reframe.
intense.
That does reframe things. Hmm? Hello?
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm?
Perfect.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything? It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
I love the framing here. I mean that pun completely intended, but I love the framing of only being able to see
Not have
things.
drunk all that coffee.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Now, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
Was that open for public hunting?
Last time I was with my brother Calvin.
Oh.
Man, that was a great trip.
Oh, he's making us document this because
Your
he
grandpa
wishes he
Sven
had
taught us how to
documentation of
fish.
his brother.
How to build a fire.
I get it. He wants his child
Found
to
an
have
old logging trail. There were deer everywhere.
the documentation that he wishes he had. Not the
I
same
bet
as
if I could
living
remember where
vicariously
that
through your
trail
child,
was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time.
but not terribly far off either, huh?
Give me a minute to check the map.
Oh, hello.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn.
Oh, I was looking at the bird. Wait for it. That's the shot.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of it.
Oh,
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target.
I've never fired a gun. I can see, I've been in this through an experience with camping, but...
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you need to be strong. Keep yourself squared up. Elbows down. Great shot, Dawn!
Ooh.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Oh, I don't like this bird.
Dad, it's twitching.
Yep,
I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Dawn.
you have to...
Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Oh! Yeah, you didn't bleed it out. You need to cut the throat. Or femoral. That was his death.
Of all these stories,
Wow.
that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Wow, jeez.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Yeah. You probably shot that bear too. That is forcing trauma upon
Instead
a
of
child.
hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
He was forced to live in a memento mori. He literally was forced to live in a memento mori. That affects somebody. Okay. Wait, where am I now? Where am I now? What am I happening to? I've lost my progression path, actually. Yeah, he was the military guy. Is there a ladder out here that I missed? Yeah, can you imagine living through a situation that was so bad that going to war was the better option? I can't. Oh, okay. He had pleasures. Oh, there's the secret door. He lived a full life, but he forced trauma upon that child. I do not feel comfortable with that at all. He forced that kid to see death. And if you're not ready to see death, that should never be forced upon anybody.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Mm-hmm. Hold on 1 second here. I just went outside to take a quick breath here. Because if I trust chat, chat says I need it. Buy some tissues. I have some napkins here. The lawsuit has been filed against you. You have 20 calendar days from after the summons is served to file a written response. Phone call will not protect you. Your written response, including the case number, must be filed if you want the court to hear the case. Sorry, just skimming it. I know it's legalese. I know it's not.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Fuck. I.
Bend over,
Oh, hello.
Gregory. It's time to. Hold on, sweetie.
Yay, bonus bath time.
Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it.
Oh, were we
I
gonna
don't
chug
want
it?
Gregory to hear this.
Oh, no. Oh no. Okay. I see what's happening. Right. She's just busy.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything.
Does the kid understand what a drain
I know what
does?
happened wasn't your fault.
Or is it too late?
I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
And they kept all the toys. He was between 1 and 2 years old. That's... oh my gosh.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
Oh my gosh. I just need to take a moment. Sorry, chat. Ooh. I love the moon. The moon's so beautiful. I've always preferred the moon in the evenings, calm over the sun. It's just time where I can be myself and be happy. Where no one expects anything of me. Where the only thing that I need to do is just what I want to.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
I'm gonna drop a hot take here, just because they come in the comment he said he'd been hit but never very hard. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Okay. Oh, do I actually have to flag this somehow?
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the
I never
bride.
enjoyed flying a kite. I have done it, of course. I imagine most people have at some point, either by obligation or by desire, but flying a kite was never something that I really found pleasure in.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Oh! Get wrecked, Dad. We're busy with our kite.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
I feel like they're... Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And we are just far enough away from the trees to be protected by them. We do not have protection of the trees.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
This is gonna... Oh no. Okay, okay.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Make the music louder? I understand that. I love going out in the rain. I love going out in the thunder. I do it frequently. Whenever there's a nice, strong storm, I like to just go for a walk and just embrace the fact that I am soaked, embrace the water, but flying a kite in it. I wish that. Oh! It wasn't lightning, it was the totem.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Oh, it ends on a non-rhyme. Oh, that's a powerful way to end a full rhyming style poem. Yeah, the totem fell on
She
them.
never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Oh. I love the mohawk. They kept all the sympathy cards because of course they did. What's this? Emergency evacuation plan? That's completely obsoleted by the number of... Oh, they each have their own lights for their night lights. Cool. That's completely obsoleted because of the way the house feels. No playing outside without permission, no answering door for strangers, no messes after dark. All chores before dark, respect others. Okay. I mean, On one hand, it's reasonable. On the other hand, printing it out on a plaque like that, I don't like that idea. Okay. Raise flag at 7. Breakfast. Quiet time. Raising the flag is weird. Oh no, he's an army man. Of course it makes sense. Okay, hold up. 100 jump ropes, fair. 150 jumping jacks. 100 push-ups, 100 crunches, and run to the mailbox and back. That's a pretty... Wait, that's for the kids. That was including Gus. That was... If they were making Gus do that, it's way too intense for a 10-year-old. I mean, that's a heavy workout for an adult. Now, it's not a brutal workout. It's not an impossible workout, but that's a very athletic workout for an adult. That's too much to put a kid into on an everyday basis. And it says routine, so that is a daily routine. Oh, wow. I hope it's I hope it's at least every other day. I hope that's, like, twice a week, personally. Oh. I do love the fact that they had a rock wall here. Roan, returning home, Book of Knots. Okay, so these are all some form of, outdoorsman. Yep, Boy Scouts. Yeah, there it is. Boy Scout Benny. Alright, let's go up.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
One of my friends does a...
It was as far away as she could get.
One of my friends does a modified One Punch Man routine. She loves it. This is a religious individual. I don't know how many of them are religious, but this is the first one that's overtly and obviously religious.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Missionary work. Religion, science, math, history. We had a phone up here. What is that? Okay, the high school ID from the 80s, from the 86, 87. Don't forget visa application. Okay, yeah, they need to handle that. Okay, that's for her husband. She kept her student ID. That is... Well, we know this family can't let go. Oh, she was still deciding on a major when...
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
I think I know that. I know what that's making a handle of. It's your family's... It's very similar to my first computer, too.
Lewis was born a year later.
More homeschooling stuff. Looks like everybody in this family was homeschooled.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again.
Well, this has been abandoned for... Honestly, I'm surprised there aren't more weeds in here. But this has been abandoned for 20 years, roundabout. Well, 10 years, I guess, in the game. This is a game about the detailing of a house. Like, literally, without exaggeration, this game is about a house that is detailed. Like, that is a good summary.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
They love construction. I also had this. That little storage container. You'd pop the top up and open the front. This is laser targeted.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
You're right. That's why they had potting soil instead of topsoil. It was because it was going to be brought up here for this stuff. Oh, you're exactly right. And they even had their own little irrigation system. Not irrigation. Irrigation? Yeah, irrigation system. Wow. Reading's a hoot. So this was the homeschool. We've known this entire time that all the kids were homeschooled. And Lewis rules. I mean, now it's confirmed. We know in fact. That Lewis does rule. Our family history is taught in school. I mean, okay.
But it didn't last.
Didn't last. Oh, I like that. It goes down to variety. The ones I saw when I was growing up ended up at species. Do you have any idea how hard it is to actually find a proper dichotomy? Like, a literal dichotomy. I don't know where to find one. Scientific method.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Well, oh, it's so beautiful. Well, let's look into Milton's room. Milton.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
But he was only 4 years old, right? Wasn't Milton the one who was 4? Let's walk around the house first and take a look around. Okay, just loops. Okay, fair. No, Milton was the one who was 11. Right. And everybody got their room of the house. That's an interesting art style. That's a developed art style, using white space like that. That's not something. That's not kids' work. That's not an 11-year-old's work, unless they're. Well, unless they're hyperfixated on art and some sort of prodigy. Actually, no, I take it back. That could very well be that kid style. With a love for architecture like that, that's really impressive for a kid. This kid was an outstanding artist, if that's their work. And that's cute, but like, that shows art designs that are not, like, that use of white space is more than I would expect from a youth. It's being a good counterweight there too. Historical mirror. Okay, these are just. I'm just trying to see if there's anything noteworthy on here. No, it doesn't look like it. Again, a bamboo forest look shot. I like that.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Is this a flip book? Doing animation is hard. And this kid did animation at 11? And he put a flipbook in the flipbook. He did meta animation. Obviously, flipbooks only last like 3 seconds. This is an exaggeration, but it creates an effect. Oh. Keep going. So he makes that, then he starts working on the canvas downstairs. They're down platform, I guess, in this case. Oh! In his imagination, he wrote it as a portal. Interesting. Is that where he went? No, that doesn't track.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Oh, we were 4, not he was 4. We were 4. For some reason, I was thinking that we were the same age. He was 11. And an extraordinarily
Mom spent months
talented
searching for my
artist.
brother. Then she sealed the doors.
She sealed the doors to all the kids' rooms. Can we take the same portal? No.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
And a very skilled one at that.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
That's concerning. Okay. Beautiful use of environmental design here. When you leave the classroom, you go straight ahead and you don't really parse this, but you can't miss it when you're coming back. Real simple. It's not
Mom
rocket
definitely
science, but
blamed
it's
Edie,
extremely
but
well done.
I think Lewis blamed himself.
Mom blamed Edie for teaching him to paint.
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Right, the kid with the cannery.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
Weed. Oh, sky chairs. Those are fun. I actually took a nap day in Sky Silks. You know what those are. Right before stream, I took a nap because I needed it.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Wow, that much. No, I'm not going back. Ah, game. I was just turning around. I just pressed that as I wanted to go back. I just wanted to look at the environment. Ooh. The trippy things here. What controller is that? I recognize that controller. Yeah, that's a PlayStation, but what? That was one of the. Huh.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Kept a high school diploma? Where's the... Oh, it's a projector screen? Is there a projector? Hold on, where's the screen that they were playing on? Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking at this and thinking that was a projector. No, it's just a big flat screen. I actually have a giant yoga ball that I sit on at work when I'm... It's just, my work is like right over there. It's the next room over. But, yeah, I actually sit on a yoga ball when I'm at work. The gaming keyboard. What do we have here? Bootleg games, clearly. Oliver Twist. Through the Looking Glass. Faust, no, never mind. Books on tape, then? Books on tape, it has to be. Books on CD, of course, rather, but... These are all classic literatures.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery.
So he used...
But he withdrew part of himself.
He used drugs
In our
as a way
sessions,
to...
I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
There's no fish here. Hello? Man behind began to what?
wander.
Oh! I'm playing a different game.
I asked him to describe it.
Yeah, I do this. I did this as a kid, I still do this.
He said he started small.
I don't work as a cannery, but fortunately...
Imagining a labyrinth.
This makes sense to me. It's gonna be hard for me to parse, chat while I'm doing this well, but this... I still do
his
this.
way about. Then something moved. Bats
Bats.
and toads. And things that have not names.
And I see what's happening. I'm not looking at the work. I'm looking at the
He knew it
minigame.
was all in his head.
Everything else is muscle memory. Everything else is muscle memory. We gotta catch up on it. Hold on. There we go.
But he took it very seriously.
Yeah.
I had
this
hoped
is
he'd find himself.
found happiness. I mean, this is something you do to be happy, right? You do this. This is just imagination.
But he found something more.
Yeah, it starts to become real. It starts to
I
become
worried about him
important.
then. Daydreaming at the cannery.
Why? How could you do work like this and not daydream?
I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
This isn't
Like a whole
mental...
new Lewis.
I don't see this as a mental health issue. This is just normal to me.
So I let him go on.
Yeah?
I even encouraged him.
Yeah.
It seemed very promising at first. He told me
Hello,
he'd
dog.
made a new friend.
Aww. Hello, new friend. What a good dog.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Yep, incorporating the
He built
day-to-day
the city up
mundanity
slowly,
into
brick
your
by brick.
imaginations. Hello, drummer friend.
Then he made musicians.
Yeah, this all makes sense to me. Nothing here is strange. This is...
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something.
That's how you have to get through a
Every
job
day
like
his
this.
imagination grew
If your
stronger.
job isn't mentally fulfilling, then you have to find a way
He
to
no
make it
longer
mentally
spoke at the
fulfilling.
cannery.
That's why you no longer spoke at the cannery,
But
because
his
the cannery doesn't
trucking was
exist
as
anymore.
reliable as ever.
Yeah. It's no longer
And one day it struck him
thought about.
that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination.
Yep.
So he could do whatever he wished.
Yeah.
He held an election for mayor,
All hail the mayor.
and he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering.
Let's find new
It
adventures.
became a game for him.
Gotta catch up.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
Conquerors.
New Lewis.
Yay. New Louisville.
St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
With a job like this, how could you not? I don't understand how you can stay without.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Yeah.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
A beautiful prince.
beautiful prince.
me see the prince.
The prince was on his own quest for
Sinister serpents.
sinister serpents.
Oh, they're spooky. But we can defeat them because we're strong.
He followed the sound of his
Silver harp for certainty.
silver harp.
Well, it wouldn't be interesting if you couldn't choose, right?
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
I love it. Everything else is gone.
He knew the
I
world
love
was
it.
all in his imagination.
We got our muscle memory down, though. We don't need to think about our job, because what would we think about?
But
What
he was
would we
so
think about?
proud of having created it.
It's obvious what's going to happen. We're going to
In his
lose
own
ourselves,
eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
and we're going to cut our hand. We already know that's what happens. We can't escape it. We already know this is what happens.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world,
Ah.
I think it was overwhelming.
Oh.
And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Yep, and then he went into game development, I understand. And became a VTuber. I get it, it makes sense.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
No, we want to go back in there. No, we don't. We want to go back. Oh, we don't want to go this way. Okay, no.
He began to forget the world we know.
I mean, yeah. Why would you want to be in that world if this is all that you can do? If you're not allowed to do anything else, and if you don't have the skill and background and education necessary to do what I did in this situation, which is, you know, find a way to. Well,
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
a way to do something to make yourself proud, a way to become proud of yourself.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh, we're hurting ourselves.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
He needs to write a book. He needs to channel his creativity into something that can... something that's powerful.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
He needs to take this creativity and channel it into something. Whether that is acting or writing
Including
or...
the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
You say he isn't being creative, this is his real life. I don't think that there's a meaningful distinction between the two statements you've just made. I do not think the two things that you just said are meaningfully distinct. The other life is fake now. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. I know what I'm
His
saying.
prince waiting, holding his crown. The there was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
It's a shame that he went. It's a shame. It's tragic. That could have gone another way.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
I wish that could have gone another way for him. That's all I have to say about that, I guess, is that I wish that could have gone another way for him.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
Interesting.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
Posters.
But I understand why we left.
She was consumed by her search for this kid. Oh hey, the on-tap purifiers. Those were always tasted weird.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
What? Exactly what happened, though.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Yeah, that's all that's left. That's the game. Joining the Great Maid. Are these paper mache craft? These are paper mache crafts of everybody, aren't they? Yeah, paper mache craft of the. Oh my goodness! Yeah, paper mache craft of Lewis, of the shark, of the stag, of the frog. She knew all these stories. She knew all the stories that all the people in her family had lived. Paper mache craft of even the house and its maybe even beyond. That might have actually include an extension that isn't even on this house. The Odyssey. Peeking out there.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are
Edith,
very specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our
I'm
last...
not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
She wanted to stay with the house. It's everything she knows, and it's all of her family and all of her life. She didn't want to leave it, and I get it. I understand that.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Oh. the entrance to the
Or
library.
that Edie had a key to it.
And how old are we in this moment now? A couple years younger than we are now?
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories.
No, not because of
I think
the
it's
stories.
best if Edith and I leave tonight.
It's not because of the stories. If anything, stories can help you survive because you can learn from them. Stories don't hurt people. Failure to learn from stories
We'll have the
hurts
nursing
people.
home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
No, not okay. She wants to stay.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Oh no. Okay, the tide went way out. We know what that means. We all know what that means. The tide shouldn't be able to go that far out.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
No. That will be too painful, even if there's nothing.
An earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years.
Oh, jeez, okay.
God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
Yep, but we never had a chance to actually visit it. Till now. Edith had been 11. I was thinking 11 or 12,
I'd
yeah.
go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
It can happen. It happens to everybody. Doesn't matter how good of a tracker you are, you can lose your way in the fog and just go in circles.
I
We
got
only go 10
turned
meters down a turn.
around.
We should be able to track the bell. Audio cues still work through fog. We should still be able to find our way.
I
as
started
there's a bell.
seeing things.
The deer. She's seeing the history of her family.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends.
Because of her
That
connection.
night, a lot of things came back to me.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I came back to them.
Even the gate is still here. Oh my gosh.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go!
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
But now we can actually finish it.
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Of course she was. That makes sense.
After that, we moved around a lot.
That makes sense. Why she wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be there.
We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while. And then she didn't. and then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes.
Best we can do is learn
and appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you.
Oh, I see.
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
And we never got to see the rest of Grandma Edie's story because we weren't allowed to. Wow. That was a very powerful game. People have recommended me this for years, and then people have recommended it in my chat, to play as for years as well, and I just hadn't because I hadn't gotten around to it. You know how backlogs can be. Willie, this is the rest of the story. This is the rest of the story. Sometimes people die before they get to tell the rest of their story. Honestly, I had been waiting for it to go on sale. I had been waiting to pick it up for a Steam half-off sale or something, and it just never did. I definitely knew that dog. I don't know why that, of all these tragic stories here, of all the tragic stories here, the one that is... The one that is hitting me, I don't know about the hardest, but the one that is definitely hitting me hard is the fact that I'm certain that I knew that dog. This was a beautiful experience, and I want to thank you all for joining me for this. I really do. We're sitting through all the credits. I always sit through all the credits, and this one I wouldn't even... nothing could tear me away from them. Nothing could, I want to thank everybody who worked on this. I want to thank everybody who worked on this for giving me the opportunity to experience it. What a beautiful experience. And if you enjoy this, I do recommend you pick it up. Pick it up, play it, see things that I missed, and experience it for yourself, Don't let this be the authoritative way that you see this game. All these shots are from the kids, and there's gonna be one that I'm gonna recognize. Yeah. There's... Yeah. What an incredible game. What an incredible experience. What an incredible moment. The end. Hetaham. Thank you all for joining me. I hope that you had a wonderful time, and thank you for sharing this experience with me. Sharing this experience with you guys has made it even more powerful than had I played it on my own, and that's part of why I like it. That's not true for everybody. That's not true for most people, but for some people, sharing the experience with others makes it more powerful for them. And that's why I stream. It is. Because sharing this experience and having it on the youtube.com and having people see it and having it with my friends, with you, and everybody who comes after. If you're watching this 6 months from now, a year from now, 3 years from now, thank you for coming here and seeing this with me as well. And if you're here live in chat right now, thank you for being here with me. I don't know if I can truly express how much that really means to me. Thank you. And I hope you have a good evening. Cheers, friends.